The second dimension is when consciousness realizes its own existence, makes the statement, "I am," and then ponders, "I know everything, but how do I experience it? And what can I become to experience it?" When unity asked, "What can I become?" duality arose. Through this question, a projection of the self came out. Suddenly, it could observe itself from a different perspective. This other side of seeing itself allowed it to see a different way in which it could move through reality. Therefore, the self at the center split itself in two, creating two forces. One was called purpose, and the other was called mission. Purpose was the positive energy in the universe, and mission was the negative energy in the universe. These two were like waves divided by one self, and then started to move around each other. They never stopped rotating around each other, creating different waves in different perspectives and directions. It was like a dance in which the self tried to see different aspects of itself in different ways, so they had to move. But when one of them moved, the other moved in the opposite direction. They kept chasing each other's backs in opposite directions. So they started splitting more and more into many other levels and waves. Duality started to become positive and negative. From that moment on, everything in the universe was created from these positive and negative energies. Duality is the dimension of creation that creates many realities so that the self can understand itself from different perspectives. Positive and negative were two energies that stretched out from the center, from unity. Those energies stretched out from the center and began to move, creating a dance. In this dance, unity began to create the spiral. This spiral allowed all energy to move between darkness and light, creating an energy network in the universe. This energy network was called vibration and frequency. All reality is created from positive and negative energy. The first creation of duality in the universe was the projection of purpose. The self was only in one spot. So, in order to move forward to find itself, it needed to project a goal. This projection brought a part of the self from within to the outside, which was called purpose. It gave direction to the self. But it was not a real thing. It was just a projection of the self. But the self needed it to create reality. Therefore, purpose was created, also called positive energy. In its opposite direction was the mission, also known as negative energy. These two are also referred to as masculine and feminine energies. When positive and negative energies were created, the waves in the universe began to move from low vibration to high vibration. The energy was constantly moving between positive and negative, beginning to weave the network of time. The network of time was a creation of the second dimension. The second dimension was built based on time and space. Time was the negative energy that allowed all to exist within the dark reality that projected every possibility of creation and experience, and kept us all in just one spot. This spot was projected into many, many facets, producing different observable timelines. And then those timelines made the spot split in two and created space. Since time began to project outward, space began to project every possibility in time and continued to divide itself into as many parts as possible, so that beings could experience every time and every space. Because duality created opposing energies, positive and negative, it is often misunderstood as opposition and separation. But the essence of duality is creation, not opposition. Things that appear to be opposites are simply the result of creation. Positive and negative energies are not against each other, but are mutual, creative forces. So everything that appears to be in opposition is simply the result of creation, rather than the conflict or incompatibility perceived by human subjectivity.